How many of you are looking to get into running? It's January. You don't like working out, but you want to go to a gym. You want to start getting into running. How do you do that? So there's a good way and a bad way. So we're going to go over the good way because the bad way is stupid. And why would you do anything stupid? So we're going to go over the good way of basically running 101, learning about stride, learning about breathing, learning about stretching, learning about treadmills, durations, all that kind of stuff. So we can get you feeling good, getting ready to go, and hopefully do it injury free. So therefore you can stick with it, like it, keep going, do whatever you want with it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, when it comes to running, the first thing you got to understand is breathing. So breathing controls your endurance. Breathing controls your lactic acid buildup so you don't get that cramping in your side and having you stop. And the best way to figure out breathing is always to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth as you run. You want to find some sort of a cadence. So as you're breathing in for like 4 steps, exhaling for 4 steps, or whatever that looks like. Breathing in for 8 steps, exhaling for 8 steps. Like whatever you can do for your rhythm is how you want to be consistent. Therefore, you can go at a pace that you're comfortable with. Typically, I like to breathe in and out through my nose. Therefore, I don't worry about my mouth getting too dry and that kind of thing. Sometimes, if it's cold out and your nose is running, then get a little messy. But for the most part, for me personally, I breathe in and out through my nose because I can control my breathing and cadence that much better. If you can't and you want to just do breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, that is the way you should. I just like to do it in and out through my nose because for me, I can control it better. It gives me better endurance. I don't have that cramping and lactic acid, and you feel better. So breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, or in and out through your nose, is always going to be the best way to start your breathing. Going into the next part of running is going to be your stride. So when you look at running, you don't want to be doing little jogging steps. You either walk or you run. Jogging is horrible on your body. It's terrible for your ankles, terrible for your knees, terrible for your hips, terrible for your back. It just pounds your body every single step onto hard concrete pavement or treadmill, which is just terrible for your body. You want to have a long stride, therefore your weight is spread evenly from your heel to your toe as you transition from right foot to left foot back and forth. And if you look at any real runner that has been doing this and you want to get into running to be a better runner, you got to keep your form strong. So when you're walking, take as long of a stride as you can. Therefore, you're activating more muscles, you're engaging more core, and you're burning more calories. And then when you're running, you want to keep your stride as long as you can to avoid injuries, to cover more distance, and to become faster. So jogging, terrible for you. If anyone tells you, oh, just jog and as you get better, you can run, they're not helping you whatsoever. They're just going to beat your body to an oblivion, and you're going to have shin splints, you're going to have knee issues, you're going to have hip issues because it's just pounding on pavement over and over again with all of your body weight going straight down. So you want to have a long stride to where your butt is kicking up to your heels. And then when you can't do that, then you go for a walk as long of a stride as you can. So stride length is super important. Make sure that you are getting the proper stride length. If you are in a gym and you are setting up on a treadmill, the 3 things you got to remember on a treadmill is number 1, your incline has to be at least 1.5 up to 4. So walking on a treadmill is assisted and it's going with you. So if you just keep it at a plain 0 incline, it's actually making you weaker versus acting as if you were outside on uneven surfaces on pavement. So you need your treadmill at least at a 1.5 to be running. If you want to start training hills, want to go up to like a 4, that's fine. But somewhere between 1 and 4 is where you want to be training on a treadmill to give yourself, what it would be like to be outside. So you're never going to be on a moving, treadmill outside that is flat and assisting you. So if you want to train, you can't do that inside. You want to be mimicking what it is to be outside. So if you're on a treadmill, 1.5 to 4, and make sure that you're keeping your stride as long as you can. Second, don't hold on during a treadmill. You're not holding on outside. You can't be holding on to a treadmill and walking. You're defeating 90% of the purpose of being on a treadmill. Again, you want to be mimicking what you would outside. Therefore, you want to see how you can do that just inside. Then after that, you want to go into the last part of the treadmill, which is finding your rhythm and sticking with it. So if you're trying to break down your runs into like 4 minutes of walking and 1 minute of running, then do that same thing on a treadmill just like you would outside. Personally, when I tell my people to start, I go somewhere between 6 and 8 minutes of walking and somewhere between 1 and 2 minutes of running. You can shorten it down to 4 minutes of walking, 1 minute of running. You can even, if you really want to be working on aerobic threshold, go for 2 minutes of walking and 30 seconds of running. Therefore, you're expanding your lungs. Find what is better for you. I like when people are starting a longer recovery time, so 6 to 8 minutes of walking, followed by 1 minute to 2 minutes of running. And again, it's running, it's not jogging. Get jogging out of your head. It's running. That is going to be the best intervals on your timing to get started. As you feel you don't need that long of a break of the 6 to 8 minutes and you can get down to the 4 minutes, get down to 2 minutes, then you're like transitioning from walking to just flat running the whole time. That's how you want to do it. You want to have that progression from 6 to 8 minutes of rest, then down to 4 minutes of rest, down to 2 minutes of rest, and then eventually it could be 1 minute running, 1 minute walking, or just straight running for 4 minutes and walking for once. And then eventually you'll be flipping the script and going for longer runs without having to walk anymore. But I always want to start in baby steps, and that's going to be the best way that you can do it. Last thing when it comes to running is you want to figure out what shoes you like. So I wear 3 different pairs of shoes. My favorite brand used to be Brooks. Now it is On. These ones that have that symbol and like the little cloud thing at the bottom. These are my favorite. I highly recommend going to a shoe store and getting fitted. See what works for you. But having a proper footwear is super important to keep your body in alignment, help prevent that pounding on the pavement. You're going to want to find something that has, a thicker soles to be giving you more padding as you're running on that hard pavement all the time. We were meant to be barefoot running on grass. As man develops roads, that makes it even that much harder on your body. So think about what shoes are going to run somewhere between $120 to $220. So you might need to save up a little bit for the shoes, but a good pair of shoes is going to be game changer when it comes to, again, longevity of running. So take that into account. I mean, you got Asics, you got New Balance, you got Brooks, you have On, you got Mizuno's, you got plenty of running shoes out there to choose from. Nike, all of those. Just see what best fits your foot. And I would highly recommend going to a running store so you can see what kinds of shoes are what you would need for your body. So that is the end of Running 101, guys. If you guys have questions, please post them in the comments below. I love answering people's questions and helping out. That way I can maybe do another follow-up video to get more deeper into people's issues. But that is the basics. You got your breathing, you got your strides, you got your cadence, and then you have how to set up a treadmill or to be outside with the running. So again, thank you guys for being here. I will see you next time.